All right, what's up everybody? I figured today I would do a review on what I think are two of the best wheel and tire cleaners on the market. Now, we have Koch Chemie Alkali Wheel Cleaner and we have Adams Wheel and Tire Cleaner. Technically, the Koch Chemie is advertised as a wheel cleaner, but what you'll see in the test is you can use it on tires and it works incredibly well. So I hope you're excited for the review today. We'll keep it short and sweet. And hopefully give you all the information that you need. We'll start off with some numbers and then we'll get into the review for you. I tried these on two different tires. Now I added some dirt to the tires. They were pretty full of brake dust and dirty. We had a rainstorm last night, but for the purposes of the test, I added some dirt to them. So hopefully I got them pretty equal. I don't think there'll ever be a situation where we'll get everything exactly equal, but for the purposes of the test, I think it really showed. You'll see it demonstrates the cleaning ability of each one. So before we get into that, we'll go over some numbers and then we'll get into the test. The last thing I'll mention about the wheels are they've had CarPro Dark Side on them for coming up on about 2 months now, so they've had plenty of maintenance washes. So they're there very lightly, or the dark side is there very lightly, but it is it's wearing away, I think, by now. So you'll see there is still some water beading left, so it'll be a good judge to see if it'll strip any tire dressings for that matter. So for our test today, we have like I said, the Koch Chemie Alkali Wheel Cleaner, which is a pH of 14, and then we have the Adams Wheel and Tire Cleaner, which is a pH of I think online it says 12 to 13 on their SDS sheet. I used an IK Foam Pro 2. And then I use this cool, I think it's Fantic. I got this at Costco, but I think you can get them on Amazon. I'll link to the description and below. And just filled up the Schrader valve with it. It's such a great way to do it. I can't wait until IK releases their electric version or their battery powered version, so we don't have to deal with this. But in the meantime, you can get like a tire filler, and this makes the foaming way better than having to pump it 50 times until it pressurizes. So these are the tools we use today. But yeah, getting into the numbers. So two of the most popular ones that I've seen are Adams Wheel and Tire Cleaner. It's been around forever. It's pretty affordable. This is advertised as ready to use. You should be able to just put on a spray head and go for it, or put it in a foamer and go for it. On the back, it does say you can do, or online, it does say you can do 2 to 1. That's if you want to clean, it says engine bays or like fenders, you can go 2 to 1. Or if you want maybe a less aggressive wheel cleaner, you could go 2 to 1. So I like to break things down by cost of use, or price per ounce. I think that's really valuable for some people, or especially business owners, but even the average consumer, right? Like most situations, the more you buy, the cheaper something is going to be. So getting into the numbers, the Adams Wheel and Tire Cleaner for standard bottle, I think these prices were on Amazon or directly on their site, is $12.99 for 16 ounces, which is about 81 cents an ounce. They do sell a gallon in the Adams, which is $44.99 or $45, and that's 35 cents an ounce. So if you buy the gallon, you definitely have some decent savings, and you're only using, or it's only 35 cents an ounce, so something to consider. They also have, I think in a limited capacity, I've seen a 5-gallon available. It's no longer on Adam's site. I believe it's still on Amazon. I can link to that below. I didn't run the numbers there. I don't think most consumers, most DIYers are gonna buy a 5-gallon container of wheel and tire cleaner. If you've got the space in your garage, great, go for it. I would definitely recommend picking that up, because it's obviously going to be the most economical. But for today's test, we're going to do kind of like the more realistic sizes that most people would buy. So those same numbers at a 2 to 1 dilution, in case you do want to dilute Adams Wheel and Tire 2 to 1. For the 16 ounce, it drops it down to 40 cents an ounce. And then if you buy the gallon, it actually drops it down to 17 cents an ounce. So buy the gallon at 2 to 1 is really, really cost effective at 17 cents an ounce. So price isn't bad on this, but I think we can do even better on the Koch Chemie Alkali Wheel Cleaner. So just straight up, this is a 1 liter bottle. I think it's, what is it, 33.8 ounces is an actual liter. Yeah. So we'll just, for purposes of our discussion today, we'll just keep it at 33 ounces, round down. And the price for this, again, I think I checked on Amazon. There, you can get it all over the place. Car Supplies Warehouse, Detailed Image, The Rag Company, et cetera, et cetera. $29.99 or $30 for 33 ounces, which is about 90 cents an ounce, which is definitely more expensive by about 9 cents. And then they also sell a 5 liter of this, which is 169 ounces. So the cost for this is 90 cents an ounce. If you buy the 5 liter, it drops it down to 66 cents an ounce. And that's just straight up. But this product, unlike Adams and Wheel and Tire, they don't recommend that you use it 1-to-1. They actually recommend that you dilute it. And on the bottle, I think it says 2-to-1. Yeah, 1-to-2 to a 1-to-10 dilution. So I've broken down some prices within that range to share with you. So 1-to-1, I just gave you those prices, which you're not going to use it. So if you go the most aggressive use case for this, which is 2-to-1 or 1-to-2, then you'd be paying 45 cents an ounce. And then if you bought the 5 liter, then you'd be paying 33 cents an ounce. So that gets it down pretty significantly. If you're diluting this at 5-to-1, your cost per use for the regular size bottle is going to drop down to 18 cents an ounce. And if you buy the 5 liter, it's going to drop down to 13 cents an ounce, which is super cheap. And then the next one, if you use these at 10-to-1, which I think I would use this somewhere between 5-to-1 and 10-to-1 for like regular maintenance washes, if that's what you're going to do, which is the most economical. It drops this down to 9 cents an ounce. And then if you get the 5 liter, it drops it down to 6 cents an ounce, which is literal pennies, if you look at it that way. So I think the lesson here is, the Koch Chemie Alkali Wheel Cleaner is much more dilutable, and then it quickly surpasses the Adams Wheel and Tire in terms of price and cost per ounce. It's always hard for me to determine like cost per use. It's different than like a snow foam soap, because I can say, yep, I'm going to put in 2 ounces in a foam cannon, and that's how much I'm using, and then I can easily kind of calculate the cost. This, these are different. If you want to put in straight product or diluted, we could break it down that way, but I'm not going to get into the weeds there. We'll just keep it at cost per ounce, and however much you want to use. But if you're diluting this to 10-to-1, you're paying 6 cents an ounce. So really, really, really economical on the Koch Chemie. Those are the pricing for each of those products. We'll quickly jump into like the pH. I won't go too deep into the weeds on pH or much on like their SDS sheets. The main difference here with the wheel cleaners, there's acidic and there's alkaline wheel cleaners. So this is a higher on the pH scale. This being 14 and this being 12 to 13, which is pretty aggressively high. It's not something that I would recommend for a ton of maintenance washes, at least at a really, really high dilution, like Adams Wheel and Tire at 12 to 13 pH using this straight. If you have protection on your wheels, meaning if you've ceramic coated your wheels, or if you've put on like a wet coat, like a Geon wet coat or a DIY Detail Quick Beads, for example, I haven't tested, this isn't a durability test or anything like that, but knowing those kind of pHs are being used, and if this is regular, I would imagine that's going to eat away at those protections very quickly. I would imagine a handful of washes, those protections are going to be gone. Specifically even with ceramic coatings, right? A lot of them are really only rated up to, you're safe within that 12 or maybe 13 pH scale. And even at that, you're testing the limits of that ceramic coating. So, to do all that work and to prep and maybe polish your wheels however far you've gone, and then to just use a super high alkaline cleaner on them regularly to just eat away at that coating, it seems really wasteful in my opinion. So just keep that in mind if you're going to use these for regular maintenance. If you have protection, some people don't have protection on their wheels, and it's totally fine. Or you wash your car once a month or once every 3 months and they're really caked up and dirty. These would be great options for you, especially if you want to keep a small bottle laying around. So this is 12 to 13 pH. This is 14 pH. This is extremely alkaline. This is really, really powerful stuff. Again, you are going to dilute it. For our test that you'll see in just a minute, this is ready to use, so I use this straight up. Since we shouldn't be using this full strength, the lowest dilution they recommend is 1 to 2. So I used it 1 to 2, which is the strongest, which I hope will be the best comparison between these two. Yeah, and we'll go from there. So we'll see how these test. Again, I don't recommend these on, ceramic coated wheels regularly. Or protected wheels regularly, but everything online is saying that on their websites, according to Koch Chemie and according to Adams, is saying that these are safe on painted rims, factory rims, chrome rims, etc. Use at your own discretion, right? Practice good judgment. Don't let this stuff dry in the sun. Do your best not to use it in direct sun, and if you are, spray it on. Don't let it dwell as long. Agitate and get that off the surface as quickly as possible. So that'd be my advice. All right, so we are going to foam on our Koch Chemie alkali wheel cleaner. We're using the IK Foam Pro 2 with the tire filler attachment. This thing is really great. It saves you a ton of time from having to pump 50 pumps to get that filled up. So I just set it to a random PSI and let it go, and then when it started to die, I turned it back on. You could leave it on for the full time and get it to create really, really great foam. So as you're seeing, really great coverage, didn't really run out of pressure, so it looks great. I put on a fair amount because I wanted it to dwell and stick on the surface overall, and I think it's doing a really good job. You'll see in a moment the right side seems to kind of spill off faster than the left side. My experience, though, typically is this foam usually dwells really well on the surface, and that's what you want, right? You want the foam to eat, right? To do the work for you, and then from there you can either just rinse it off directly, or you can agitate it and let it go. But this is doing some great browning. Again, these tires aren't super dirty. It's a newer car, and there hasn't been a ton of caked on tire shine over the years. There is some CarPro Dark Side left on here. So overall, it's doing a really good job of Alright, so we're hitting it with the rinse here. As you see, most of it actually just fell off the tire, carried it off. There's a lot of dirt on the ground, but overall the cleaning ability here is top notch. I'm really, really happy with the results. It may be hard to see on camera. I don't think I bring you in here, but as you can see, the water isn't beating on the tires, so that tells me this really stripped all the dressing. I didn't do a white towel test or anything, but overall, I'm really, really happy with the results for being a touchless cleaner at this point. Normally you would agitate, but for the purposes of this test, I'm not even going to touch it. Just let it dwell and rinse it off, and those results are pretty stunning. So quite happy with that. All right, we're moving into the Adams wheel and tire side. Same process as before. We're using the IK Foam Pro 2, and we're using this tire inflator attached to the Schrader valve, just giving great pressure here, great foam. The first thing I'm noticing is that the foam is cleaning a lot better with the Adams. Now, it could be because this is a ready-to-use undiluted product versus the Koch Chemie was 1 to 2, so it could be a little bit more clingy because of that. But overall, I think both products were performing really well. So what I'll do is I'll add some sped up footage here, and then you'll be able to see this kind of dwell over an extended period of time. I think I did the same as the other side, maybe a minute and a half. And then we did get some really, really good browning out of this one. And again, without agitation. So overall, I think the performance is really, really strong here. The one thing that we will notice is that there is some beading left on the tire, so you'll see that when we go to rinse here very shortly. right, you'll see we have some pretty decent browning without touching it. Normally you'd go in and you'd agitate with your brush and your wash media, whatever you're going to use there. But again, for our purposes, we just wanted to see, you know, how these products would compare just using straight up in a touchless format. Wanted to see the cleaning power, if you will, without having to touch it. Again, normal circumstances, you would touch it, but you see all that browning coming off during the rinse. It's rinsing really, really easily. Again, I am out of direct sunlight, but if you can see right there, there is some beading left on those tires, where if you remember from the previous demo, the wheels kind of the tires got really like flooded with water. So that tells me there's definitely still some protection left behind in the CarPro dark side that's on them. However, again, in a normal scenario, we would brush it with the tire brush and hit it, you know, however many times we needed to remove it. But overall, I'm still pretty happy with the performance. There was some brake dust left on this side, but again, overall, it worked really well. It's pretty close. It was pretty close in terms of performance. You know, we saw browning right away on both products, and I think they did a really, really good job. The Adams for whatever, or I'm sorry, the Koch Chemie for whatever reason didn't dwell as long on the tires. Like you see it kind of fell off a little bit faster despite me filming it. So I don't know how I felt about that, but overall, both do a really, really good job. The one thing I did notice where I would probably lean more towards the Koch Chemie is like this really acts like a really good full strip wash. And I was able to tell because when I was done, I noticed on the Adams side, I still saw some water beading on my tires, which tells me that the CarPro dark side is still there, right? Again, I use these in a touchless fashion. Now, normally you're going to clean your wheels and tires, you're going to use agitation, you're going to hit your tires multiple times. Once they bloom, you know, you get the browning, you're going to scrub it, and then you're going to do it again. Technically, if you want to strip your tires, you're going to do it till the foam goes white and you don't get any more browning. For the purposes of this test, I just did touchless just to see how they would strip in my current conditions. And again, I have CarPro dark side on these. It's about, I think, a couple months old at this point, so it's gone through a ton of maintenance washes, so it's definitely diminishing. It's not fresh CarPro dark side. That said, they were pretty even when we started, and at the end I still saw some beading on the Adams wheel and tire side versus the Koch Chemie side. The water stayed right on the tire and it kind of flooded. So I think this did a really good job of stripping any excess product that I had on the tires, but you can't go wrong with either one. So my recommendation, or my win here, would go to Koch Chemie, and I think for a few different reasons. You know, yes, it's stronger, right? Technically it's a higher pH, but we're diluting it 2-to-1 versus using a straight up product. But you can dilute this is more versatile, and in theory you could dilute Adams wheel and tire further, that you could go 2-to-1, 10-to-1 if you want. They don't recommend it, so I'm assuming if they don't recommend it, that they've probably done tests at different dilution ratios, and it probably is nowhere near as effective. So that's something to consider. I think there's lots of other uses and creative ways we can use different products, but I tend to try and follow the manufacturer's recommendations because they've done all the R&D and they're telling us, you know, what's recommended here. Again, you can test different options for yourself. I think this in the long run is more economical, and it does a better job if you have really, really nasty, dirty tires. If you're a professional in the industry, this is a great product, especially if you're buying it in bulk and you buy in that 5-liter size, and you do want to dilute this for your regular maintenance washes and put this in at 5-to-1 or even 10-to-1 for maintenance washes. You know, if you get that crazy disaster detail, maybe put it in at 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 or whatever. This does an incredible job. Now, the other product that we're not talking about that's in a lot of other videos that I have a 5-gallon container of just sitting right over there is Brake Buster, P&S Brake Buster. I'll throw that one in at the end. It is a great product for maintenance washing. I use it straight actually in a foam cannon, not an IK Foam Pro. Brake Buster also works incredible for maintenance washes. We can do another video on that or compare that against any other products in the future. I won't bore you with the numbers of that, but out of 5 gallons, that's also incredibly economical and does a really good job. But I wanted to kind of go after the two heavy hitters. I think if Jamie the Cleaner calls this the nuke. which I would agree with him. This does a killer job, but I think the Koch Chemie is definitely the strongest contender for wheel and tire cleaners. Again, not advertised as a tire cleaner, but I sprayed it on and it does an incredible job. So if you're in the market for a great wheel and tire cleaner, I would recommend the Koch Chemie. Again, different applications here. So just depending on your usage, depends on you know, what you're going to dilute it for. Again, regular maintenance, cut this thing down to 1 to 10 or maybe even 1 to 15 and see the performance, and you'll stretch this a really, really long way. Again, if you haven't washed your car in months or you have really, really caked on dirt, then mix it up at 2 to 1 or 3 to 1 and really let that product work for you and eat away all that brake dust and all that dirt and debris, and it's going to be killer for you. So again, I'm going to go with Koch Chemie here. I think these are great, both great products, but I'm going to lean towards this product. They do really great work with all their other products in their line, so I'm a big fan here. I'm going to link to everything that I've used in the description below, even this tire filler, which is really cool. If you have any questions, let me know. Drop it in the comments. Let me know what you use in the comments. Do you prefer Brake Buster? Do you prefer Adams Wheel and Tire Cleaner? Do you use something totally different, Maniac? There's probably 50 different brands out there that'll do the job. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments what you think is the best product. And if you want me to test any other ones, feel free to reach out and let me know. But yeah, again, you can buy all these products. They're going to be linked in the description. Whatever you purchase through the affiliate links, I'd really appreciate it. It helps out the channel. I can buy more products and then continue to do these testings for you. So thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks.